Welcome back, guys. So just the other day, we took a look at the Capcom Home Arcade from Koch Media. Officially licensed by Capcom, includes 16 games. It is a two-player arcade stick plug-and-play system. A neat idea. The execution is a little lackluster. We're missing a lot of features that we should have. The game selection, while I think is good, still should have had quite a bit more games, in my opinion, for the price that we are paying for this thing. Currently only available in Europe and places like Australia. This is not available in the US, but can be imported if you're crazy enough to spend this kind of money. But a lot of people were interested. What are we working with as far as the internals of this device? So I did go ahead and open this up for you guys. It does require some of these rubber feet to be removed. There's 6 of them, and then there is 10 screws altogether to get access inside. So once we're inside, as you see, we do have all Sanwa components. It does use quality, buttons and sticks. There is no issue on that side of things. And they actually did this in a very neat manner. There's not wires like hanging all over the place. They did use ties to keep everything nice and neat. So that's a plus. So if you really wanted to, yeah, you could change out the buttons and the sticks or, whatever components if needed. Going to be very difficult to swap out the buttons to find something that matches this Capcom design, but hey, it is very simple and easy to swap these components out. Now, as far as the board, so the board is held down by 3 screws in order to flip it over to see some of the components we're working with. So once I got those 3 screws out, took a look, we have this heat sink on top of the processor. Tried my best to see if I could get that off, but I did not want to damage this board. I'm not a huge fan of this device, but I did spend my own money for it. It is very expensive, and I don't want to break it. So, like I said, I did what I could to try to get this heat sink off, and it's just not happening. But from what I understand, it is an ARM processor. But we do have a couple other components here that are exposed that give us kind of an idea of maybe some of the directions that they're going to be going with on this thing. It does have Wi-Fi. If you look on the right side of this board, there is a Realtek Wi-Fi chip, but that's kind of the least important thing here. We do have a Wi-Fi antenna, and the other 2 components that are very easily seen are going to be this Kingston eMMC chip. It is a 4 gigabyte memory chip, so that is nice. 4 gigs eMMC. Interesting. Haven't really seen these kind of devices use that high a memory for storage. But then we also have this MemoLink chip. And I had to dig into that because I wasn't exactly sure what it is. I'm not a rocket scientist when it comes to these things, but I found like a Russian website that did a teardown of another device that had pretty much the same chip in it. And it looks like it is a 4 gigabyte flash memory chip. So pretty interesting stuff here. Looking at this board, the board really screams to me multi-purpose, like they're going to be using this for other devices, or maybe this has already been used in other devices, because on the left side of the board there's 2 spots that are unpopulated for, it looks like, USB ports, and there's a lot of other areas where things can be added if needed. So it definitely looks like a multi-purpose board that they may be using for something else in the future. So there's that. Just wanted to give you guys as much information as I could. Not 100% everything that we're working with, but so far, what I'm seeing on the internals here, it seems like a very capable, board. Everything's done very neat, so I can appreciate that. I mean, it damn well better be done neatly for the money that I had to spend for this thing, and some of you guys out there as well. But I'm curious to see what they do with this. Are they going to expand it with more games? Because we definitely have the memory for that on this board. With the firmware updates, it having Wi-Fi capabilities, I mean, I'm not sure too many people are going to care about the leaderboards, but being able to update this thing, being able to possibly add games to it is really going to be one of the selling points. Not right now, not at over $250 US, but maybe down the road when nobody buys this damn thing and the price goes down and people become more interested. For what it's worth, I mean, I'm not exactly happy with this stick. It's cool to see some of these games, but there's so many other ways to do this. The components definitely added to the cost a little bit. But at the same time, I mean, as far as the consumer goes, you can get all these Sanwa parts, obviously not the custom buttons, but the same exact buttons for a reasonable price. Couple dollars a button, 20-ish dollars per stick. So it's still very heavily inflated on the price for what we're getting here. It is what it is. So really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I just wanted to take this real quick look at this thing for you guys. And with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. And boom. Bye.